Good evening, all of you. Um, this is Deepa, and I'm going to present the team kickoff meeting presentation as part of our last assignment for this course. I have chosen JP Morgan and Chase company that I work with, and I would like to discuss one of the projects that I have worked earlier with this company. JPMC is one of the biggest multinational banking and financial firms that currently in United States. They have a total asset of 2.5 trillion, and the company was formed back in 2000, but when the Chase Manhattan Corporation merged with JP Morgan and Company. JP Morgan and Company owns five bank subsidiaries in the United States. And before and at the beginning, and back in 2000, Chase used to have only investment and mortgage line of businesses, but Chase has evolved and grown, and they have now 20 different line of businesses that they have business and have products across. The project that I'm currently going to discuss about is about the third party vendor attestation program on the complaints that Chase receive. So let me give you a little bit background uh, about the company itself and the way Chase has managed their complaints so far. So, as you all know, Chase is a huge organization and it has grown into multiple levels of line of businesses that these people have now. Um, Talking about our line of business, that is the consumer customer banking. The CCB line of business never had a data warehouse where they can house all their complaints into one place and integrate them. So far, CCB line of business have always reported their complaints based on as simple as spreadsheets, or some people had data marts, some people had databases and used to create the reports of their databases, and some of them used to have data warehouse. But there was no so because they had those different types of ways that they report complaints on, there was no compliance or there was no risk policies in place of how the data is handled, because this is customer data and it is really very sensitive data. You have many details of a customer in it. Chase was lagging behind on how it handles the customer, that kind of sensitive data from a customer. So the business needed to have an integrated data warehouse where they can implement these customer complaints. Now very recently, about last year, they have implemented this data warehouse where all of the Chase complaints are housed in one place. Now the business is coming back and telling us that they need to know that a third party provider is receiving any complaint or not, and if they are receiving, what is the volume of the complaint that they are receiving, and if they are not receiving, then how are they able to capture the indexing information on these complaints. Third party providers are the people who take the Chase products and give to the customer, or they handle the delivery of those projects of their products. The business needs to implement control to ensure a sustainable process to identify these third party providers who are not complying with the policy of attestation or having quality issues in capturing the indexing information. Attestation and indexing information is used in the monthly reporting. The solution that we are going to implement as part of this project will also automate the reporting that is needed in a daily, monthly, or on a weekly basis. We will create a brand new data mart that will house the customer complaints that are coming in from the third party providers. and we will see what is the servicing volume of each of these third party providers, and if they are receiving complaints, yes or no. The key stakeholders of this projects are Jorge Vargas, the IT project manager. Now, Jorge Vargas has been with us since 20 years, and he is well versed with the data warehousing world. He was earlier in the asset management line of business, and he has implemented the data warehouse there for the customers who have their assets with the Chase Bank. Now, Kevin Jennings will be our lead business analyst. Kevin is here and was working with us on the earlier projects as well. We know very well that Kevin has this exceptional skills of gathering requirements and persuading customers into a way that we and customers both are happy in implementing what exactly the spirit of the project is. Kevin has been exceptional. Kevin has been awarded an exceptional business analyst last year in the Chase, and we are very glad to have Kevin on our project. Sandeep Tak will be our IT development lead. Sandeep has implemented various other data warehousing projects, and he himself has certification in Hadoop and Teradata, which are the latest technologies in the data warehousing world. We welcome you, Sandeep, to our team, and thank you very much for joining this meeting. And we look forward to have your expertise on our project. David Z would be our QA lead. David Z, as we all know, has been the central QA lead since 5 years now. And the integrated customer data warehouse that was built last year, David Z's team has QA'd all that data before it went into production. So having David Z on our project will help us have his insight on the customer complaints that were integrated last year in our line of business and he will help us also understand if there is any data discrepancy that is coming in from the third party providers. Martin Rosenstiel will be a release engineer for this project. There is a particular piece that is very important in this project, is that this project is been attached to our enterprise release, which is in the fourth quarter of this year, and this project will be implemented in the November 2015. As part of the meeting, I would also want to discuss the budget and timeline and the resources, team project roles and responsibilities. As we discussed the scope earlier, we all the customer complaints that are received from the third party providers are to be integrated and centralized in a data warehouse. Third party vendors basically receive complaints from their delivery managers. Now, delivery managers are an association of a group of people or an organization who attests the complaints that they receive from their customers on a monthly basis. Now, these customers can be as simple as a person walking into a branch of Chase and complaining about the air conditioning of that branch office, or a person complaining about the ATM machine that is outside the Chase branch. So the complaints like this will be housed and lodged by all of these delivery managers, and they will attest these complaints as being authentic, and they will report it back to the Chase. As part of implementation of this data warehouse, we will also research on these complaints and see if there is any further action required on these complaints or not. This will allow the company to improve their processes and reduce the risk of the audit and legal matters. The budget of this project is divided is determined as $100 million, as because the huge volume of the data, we would require a lot of analysis, and hence we require 5 BAs, 15 ETL developers, and we would require a huge team of the QA testers to test our data because of the huge volume. And 3 release engineers. Project will be led by one business PMO and one IT PM. Um, Here are the timelines and milestones of this project. Me, Jorge, Kevin have sat together earlier and have discussed about this project task and the timelines. This is a very rough timeline for this project at this time, and these are meant to be changes as we go deep dive into the project. But these are the dates that we have come up on the project so far. And we would require MS Office Suite, ETL Informatica, Teradata, HP, ALM Lifecycle for defects tracking, and Unix and C Sharp, .NET technologies for our release engineering processes. I will send out the project stakeholders, the project timelines, and the requirement specification documents that we have gathered so far to everybody on this meeting invite. And you all can go through the documents and let me know if you have any questions. So far on the project scope and the overall project perspective, you all can let me know if you have any questions. Okay, if there are no more questions, then we can wrap up this meeting and we will meet again once everybody's reviewed the document. Thank you very much.